Compared to your primary school, there might be a lot more teachers and staff here at Inverurie Academy. Each member of staff plays a very important role here. Now, the senior leadership team and the guidance team are who we're going to learn a little bit about today. Our senior leadership team is made up of a number of individuals. We have Mr. Jones, who's in overall charge of the Academy. However, that is a huge job. So he is supported by a number of depute heads. Each depute head, and you've maybe had some depute heads if you've come from one of our bigger primary schools, each has a different role in school. Now, I'm not going to go through a big exhaustive list of all the roles that they play because they've got lots of different jobs to do. But the depute head that you need to focus on here is Mr. O'Connor. Mr. O'Connor is your year head. That means he's the depute head who oversees the S1 year group. What they try to do is keep the same depute heads as year group heads throughout your time in school. So when you eventually move to S2, which seems a long way away yet, Mr. O'Connor will continue to be your year head. They get to know you really well, like your guidance teachers. You might see them at some of your assemblies, or you might see them visit your class from time to time. They might be called in as well if you make some questionable choices or that your behaviour maybe isn't quite up to what we'd expect it to be. Now let's move on to the guidance team, known as the guidance teachers or principal guidance teachers. You've probably got to know them really well throughout the workshop. So just as a wee reminder, we've got Mr. Littler, who's the guidance teacher for the Barra House. We've got Mrs. Penter, who's the guidance teacher for the Cricky House. Mr. Willis, who's currently covering for Mrs. Sherrington, and he's the guidance teacher of Dava House. We've got Mrs. Facker, who's guidance teacher of Harlaw, and Mrs. May and Mrs. Taylor, who are guidance teachers for Selby House. You'll meet your guidance teachers at least once a week in your personal and social education classes, where you'll look at different parts of health and well-being. Your guidance teacher is also often referred to as your head of house. Similar to your senior leadership team with your year head, your guidance teacher will remain your guidance teacher throughout your time in school. Now, some of you might already know who your guidance teachers are going to be, because what we try to do is if you have a sibling, so that's an older brother or sister here at the Academy, we maybe match you with the same guidance teacher. You will be told your guidance teacher, if you don't already know that, and your class during Link Week. You'll find all the guidance teachers based in their office on the ground floor of Inverurie Academy.